Frank Lucas, the man who reinvented the drug trade with cunning and discipline. Frank Lucas was born on September 9, 1930, in La Grange, North Carolina, into an African-American family marked by poverty and resilience. From an early age, life taught him that the world rewards those who move quickly and punishes those who wait for opportunities to come to them. His childhood was steeped in the racial and economic inequalities of the American South, witnessing the stark contrast between those who had resources and those who had nothing instilled in him a mixture of ambition and pragmatism, a calculating perspective that would later define every step of his adult life. As a teenager in Harlem, New York, Lucas found himself surrounded by an environment where violence, survival, and illegality were part of everyday life. He quickly learned that personal discipline and strategy could be far more powerful weapons than brute force. Small illegal ventures and street-level drug sales taught him the fundamentals of underground commerce, knowing the terrain, understanding clients, and anticipating the movements of competitors and law enforcement. Lucas didn't merely participate, he observed, analyzed, and planned with precision. By the mid-1960s, Frank Lucas revolutionized the drug trade in New York. He did not merely follow existing routes, he reinvented them. He introduced a method that defied the traditional structure of drug syndicates. He eliminated middlemen and purchased directly at the source in Southeast Asia, particularly Thailand, which reduced costs and increased the efficiency of his clandestine empire. His strategy was simple yet highly effective: total control over the supply chain, from import to distribution in Harlem and other neighborhoods of New York. Every decision was made with surgical precision, like a chess player moving pieces across a board with unpredictable consequences. Lucas's rise was far from quiet. His ability to organize and protect his business made him legendary. His nickname, Superfly, reflected both his extravagant lifestyle and his business audacity. With luxury cars, elegant clothing, and lavish parties, Lucas did not merely sell drugs, he sold an image of power, discipline, and absolute control. Yet behind the glamour, his empire rested on cold calculations and a hierarchical structure that demanded loyalty and obedience, punishing betrayal without hesitation. Lucas's audacity also manifested in his dealings with the law. While many of his contemporaries sought to hide, he operated with confidence, believing that meticulous organization and intelligence could shield him from capture. However, like any empire built on illegality, his dominion was bound to face challenges. In the early 1970s, the federal government intensified its fight against narcotics, employing informants, technology, and sophisticated legal procedures. Constant surveillance and judicial pressure demonstrated that even the best planning could not guarantee immunity. In 1975, Frank Lucas was arrested and faced multiple federal charges. His downfall was as swift as his rise. The empire he had built with discipline and strategic vision crumbled under the weight of the judicial system. Yet his legacy remained. Lucas's story illustrates how a man, with intelligence, audacity, and calculated risk, can dominate an illegal market, challenge established structures, and redefine the rules of the game. Unlike other traffickers who operate in shadows leaving no trace, Lucas left an indelible mark on collective memory, an example of innovation applied to crime, where planning and efficiency could surpass improvised violence. His story reflects the contradictions of a society that criminalizes certain behaviors but often ignores their economic and social roots. Even after his conviction and years in prison, Frank Lucas remained a symbol of ambition, discipline, and organizational skill, showing that power does not always reside in brute force, but in strategic vision and total control over a complex system. His life invites reflection on the fine line between genius and criminality, on how structure, planning, and determination can turn an ordinary man into a legendary figure, simultaneously feared and admired. Ultimately, Frank Lucas was not just a trafficker, he was a strategist who understood how to move products, people, and expectations, whose story remains a testament to the complexity of crime, ambition, and the human mind. His controversial but undeniable legacy reminds us that even in illegality, greatness can be measured through intelligence, discipline, and audacity. Don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment. Write who you want to see in the next video. The next story could be your choice.